Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into something that's sure to get you thinking and maybe even challenge a few of your long-held beliefs. We're going to talk about the 10 logical fallacies you often encounter in faith-based arguments. You might have heard these arguments before. Heck, you might have even used them yourself. But stick with me because we're going to unpack the logic behind them and see why they might not be as solid as they seem. First up, the classic appeal to authority. It goes something like this. Well, this religious leader says it's true, so it must be true. Now, don't get me wrong. Respect for authority figures is important. But here's the kicker. Just because someone says something is true doesn't mean it actually is. Think about it. How many times have we been told something by a figure we trust, only to later discover they were wrong? No one is immune to mistakes, right? Next is the appeal to tradition. This one's a favorite. You've probably heard, "We've always believed this, so it must be right." But here's the thing. Tradition doesn't equal truth. Just because something has been passed down for generations doesn't make it infallible. There was a time when it was a tradition to believe the earth was flat, but surprise, it wasn't true. Tradition can evolve, and truth often does too. Then there's the false dilemma. It's a tricky one. You either believe in our faith or you're going to hell. Wait, what? Is that really the only option? Life isn't always as black and white as people make it seem. There are a lot more colors in the spectrum than just believer or non-believer. The world is full of nuance, and framing it as an either-or situation is, well, it's dangerous. Here's one that gets tricky. Begging the question or circular reasoning. You've probably heard, "The Bible is true because the Bible says it's true." Wait, what? That's not an argument. That's just restating the claim. You're not proving anything here. You're just going in circles. If you want something to be true, you need actual evidence to back it up, not just words that repeat themselves. Now, the ad hominem fallacy. This one's a favorite when people don't have a strong argument. Attack the person, not the argument. So you've probably heard, "You can't trust what they say about religion because they're not religious." What? This is a logic trap. Just because someone isn't religious doesn't mean their argument is invalid. In fact, sometimes it takes more courage to ask questions when you're not bound by religious constraints. Moving on, the straw man fallacy. This one's a sneaky one. Imagine this. Atheists believe everything came from nothing. Hold up. That's not what atheism says. This is a misrepresentation of the actual argument, making it easier to knock down. If you're going to critique something, critique what it actually says, not what you want it to say. Now here's a classic move in religious debates, the no true Scotsman. It goes like this. Well, if you truly believed, you'd never question your faith. What? This is a total cop-out. It just excludes anyone who disagrees, saying they don't count as real believers. Just because someone questions doesn't make them any less faithful. Questioning is a part of growth. Next is the God of the gaps fallacy. We don't understand this, so it must be God. Hold on a second. Just because we don't have all the answers yet doesn't mean the answer is automatically God. Science and knowledge expand over time. Let's not fill every gap with divine intervention when it could be an undiscovered natural explanation. Then there's the appeal to consequences. This one says, if you don't believe, terrible things will happen to you. Fear-mongering is never a great way to make a point. The consequences of belief or disbelief don't prove something is true. They just show the emotional weight we place on it. So there you have it. 10 logical fallacies you might encounter in faith-based arguments. But here's the thing. Questioning isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's a sign of intellectual growth. It's not about rejecting faith. It's about understanding it more deeply and making sure our beliefs are based on sound reasoning, not flawed logic. Did any of these fallacies surprise you? Or maybe you've heard some of these arguments before? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.